Welcome everybody, and thank you for listening to the Better Bushcraft Podcast. This is the place that you will learn the skills to succeed on your next outdoor adventure. My name is Tommy Clark, your host, and this is episode 4, How to Stay Hydrated While Bushcrafting. Now, before we begin, I'd like to discuss some of the things that are going on here at Better Bushcraft. In case you haven't seen them, I have 3 previous podcasts already up. The first one was just the Welcome to Better Bushcraft. In that episode, I talked about the Better Bushcraft website as well as the podcast, and a little bit more about myself and what I foresee going on here on the podcast and the website. And then on the second episode, I talked about 8 simple fire starters that you can use while bushcrafting, and all these you make at home, and they're really simple and they have some great uses for them. So if you haven't listened to the second podcast, I would say go ahead and listen to that, and hopefully you get some new ideas for fire starters, so while you're out bushcrafting you have some more options. And then in the third podcast, I talked all about gearing up for the fall and the winter for bushcrafting, and in that episode I talked about the different gear systems and clothing options that you're going to need to switch out of your kits so that you are more able to be prepared for the fall and winter. So anyways, if you haven't listened to those podcasts, I would suggest you go back and listen to them. They have some great content in them, and I'm pretty sure you'll get something out of them. So also, you can follow me now on Twitter. If you haven't seen my Twitter page, it's Tommy B. Clark. It's Tommy, the letter B, Clark. That's my name. I just used it as the Better Bushcraft one, and I've been getting some people following me, and it's been really great conversations with a couple of you guys already. So if you haven't checked that out, please go ahead and follow me on Twitter so you stay updated on all the latest videos and podcasts and articles that I'm posting up there. So also, you can check out the YouTube channel for Better Bushcraft, and that's where I post all my videos, and that's just Better Bushcraft on YouTube if you want to find me that way. All my videos go on YouTube for now, and it's just a great place for people to check out the newest videos and stuff, and I've been getting a lot of great comments and suggestions on there, and I appreciate all your guys' feedback on that. And if you want to go ahead and become a friend or a subscriber on that, I'd appreciate that as well. Now, I'm still working on my Facebook fan page. I haven't gotten to that as much right now, but I am working on the Facebook fan page, so it'll be up soon. You can find it on Facebook. Just search for a Better Bushcraft, and you'll find the fan page, and you can join the conversation there. I'm hopefully going to be adding a lot of content and conversations on that page pretty soon, so bear with me, guys, as I get that up. So, and also just keep on checking the site daily for videos and articles on bushcraft. I've been adding quite a few each week, and hopefully be putting a lot of in the field videos up there pretty quickly as well. So just check me out on those different mediums, and it'll be a great place for us just to have conversations and hopefully learn from each other. So anyways, let's jump into the main topic. And this main topic about how to stay hydrated while bushcrafting is really important, because it's vitally important to stay hydrated. You know, you need to have enough water in your system so that you don't run into any issues. And in the fall and winter, you don't really realize how important that is. You know, in the spring and summer when it's hot outside, you know that you're thirsty, you know, you're sweating a lot and you drink a lot of liquids. But when you're a little bit more cold outside, you don't really think about drinking a lot of fluids, but you really need to pay attention to see how much fluids you're drinking, because it can be a big issue if you don't. So I kind of covered this a little bit in the last episode about gearing up for fall and winter bushcraft, but I wanted to make this section, this podcast, all about staying hydrated no matter what season it is. But that we're in the fall and winter season right now, so I thought it'd be good to do it right here. But like I said, this applies to any time of the year. So anyways, there's some very easy ways to get clean drinking water. Some of these that you probably already know, but hopefully some of these you either haven't realized, or maybe they'll help you decide to try them out here in the future. So, you know, the first way that we think about when it comes to staying hydrated is just simply boiling your water. And this is the main way that I do, or I boil. This is the main way where I get my water. Sorry about that. This is my main go-to technique. And, I just use my canteen cup. And some of the things you want to think about, though, is make sure you filter it out with a bandana or even a coffee filter. Some people I've seen, they just dip their canteen cup in the stream or river and then they boil it up that way. And I wouldn't advise that because, you can get some big particles, some sticks and junk in there, and you don't want that floating around while you're drinking your water. So just be sure to use a bandana, or I even pack some coffee filters with me and just filter out the water as it's going into your cup so you don't have as much floating debris in it. So, and you boil your water for there's a lot of people say 1 minute is fine, then 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I do about 5 minutes or so on my own water. I never had a problem with it. Just, going for 5 minutes, making sure it's nice and, boiled up and got all that stuff taken care of, and it works great for me. So, you could always boil your water, but there are other ways that you can get clean drinking water if you don't have the time or you don't want to always boil water every time you're thirsty. So another way is you can just purify your water, and you can do that in a couple different ways. Using iodine tablets is a great thing. I always keep an iodine tablet container right along with my canteen, so I have my canteen on me all the time. So if I'm out away from camp and I need some good drinking water, I'll fill up my canteen and then put one of these potable aqua iodine tablets in there and let it sit for about half an hour or so, and it works pretty good. And, the iodine doesn't taste good at all. I don't like the taste of iodine. So something really handy that you can get with them as well is a neutralizer tablets, and you put that in after you already treated it with the iodine, and it makes it taste a little bit better. I'm not going to lie to you, it doesn't taste, just like pure drinking water, but it does help. So if you choose to use those because you can't stand the taste of iodine, I understand. So I always keep them right alongside my canteen, so I know I always have a way to have clean, safe drinking water. And another thing people use is chlorine. Now, I haven't done this before, but I've heard people do it, and they put chlorine in a little bottle, and you add just a few drops to your canteen or whatever, swish that around and let it sit for a while. Chlorine is one of those things where if you do it right, it's not going to hurt you because you don't put a whole lot in there, but just be sure you know how much you need per the size of your water bottle. I'd look it up online. I'm sure there's a great resource for that, and I might be posting that on my website as well, so you guys know exactly how much chlorine you need to be adding to your water to make sure it's safe. But on the other hand, you don't want to add too much to have an overexposure of the chlorine in it. So just be a little bit careful on that one. So anyways, there's another thing you could do is just water filtration systems work really great. Those are those hand pumps you can get, where you put one end of a hose into the source of water and it goes through a filter as you're hand pumping it out through another hose coming out the top into your water bottle. These are a great this is a great way to get clean water as well. Some of the times when you pack that, it kind of takes up a lot of space in your backpack or whatever. So if I'm going on a longer trip, I'd probably pack that in my backpack. But if I'm just going on a weekend trip, I wouldn't pack it for myself. But everybody has to choose for themselves. So it's just another option for you. Okay, so one of the things that I purchased recently, probably within the last 6 months or so, is a Berkey water bottle. Berkey makes, those home water filtration systems and stuff like that, but they also make a nice, I think it's a 30-ounce water bottle that I use all the time. I take this to work. I use it here around the house or whatever, but what it is, it's just a standard water bottle, but the drinking hose or drinking straw is connected to a water filter on the bottom, and so when you drink through the straw, it pulls the water through the filter and it takes out virtually everything that could be harmful for you. Now, I just use it with tap water at home and it works really great, but it's also used for while you're hiking or bushcrafting or whatever. you could put questionable water in the water bottle and then just drink straight through the straw, and as you're drinking it, it's getting filtered, and you're going to be safe. And I think they rate these for, 250 times. So you can fill your water bottle 250 times with questionable water, and I think with just regular tap water it's like 500 times. So it'll last a long time for you, and I think they cost around $25 or so online. So to me, that's a great purchase for what you get. You can always strap this to your backpack and carry it with you, and always know you're going to have a way to have clean drinking water really quickly without having any hassle. So I would suggest you look into the Berkey water bottle if you're looking for something of that sort. Okay, so another piece of kit that I got, I'm all about clean drinking water, so I have a couple different options all the time, but another one that I've only used a couple times because I haven't had to rely on it is a Frontier water straw. And they have different brands that make the same type of kit, but what it is, it's just a drinking straw that you connect one end, the bottom end, to a water filter. I think the thing's probably, 3 inches long, and it's like a 1/2 inch diameter, and it's just a filter connected to a straw. Now you can put this water filter directly into the stream or lake or whatever your drinking source is, and drink straight through the straw, and you have drinking water. So this is really great. I always pack this either into my scout pouch or even into my pocket. So if I'm kind of in a bind and I need clean drinking water, I can just put this into the stream or a river or whatever and drink as much as I want, because I think these are rated for 20 gallons or so. 20 gallons is a lot of water. So, this thing will last you for quite some time if you don't use it all the time. And I think I picked it up online for like $15 or so. And it's a great little piece of kit. Like I said, I haven't had to rely on it that much because I always have good water on me, but it's nice to know that you have a backup and a way to get clean drinking water right away if you're beside a water source and you're thirsty and you don't want to, make a fire and do all the things that you need to do to boil it. You could just use a straw and drink as much as you want, and then while you're hydrated, then you can go ahead and boil some water. So it's a great in a pinch water filtration system, and I think that everybody should pack it with them. Like I said, it's really cheap, and it's a great peace of mind. It's a little piece of insurance that that you're always going to have some clean water with you. So let's go on to some other options. One of the main ones is just bring clean water from home. How simple is that? I always pack quite a bit of water to take with me. Not all the water that I need, but a good start. So I'll either put a CamelBak bladder in my backpack, because I have a Maxpedition. That's a Vulture 2 backpack. It's a great backpack. I'll be doing a review on it pretty soon. But anyways, in the back part, it has a zipper where you can put in a bladder, and then you just have clean drinking water on your backpack. So I always fill that up with me and take that, as well as always fill up my 1 liter Army canteen with me, as well as my Berkey water bottle, and then I'll just shove some water bottles in my backpack as well. So just bring some clean water from home, and that should cover a good portion of the amount of water that you need to drink, especially if you're just doing like a overnighter or even just for the day or a weekend thing. You always have some clean water that you can bring from home, and that way you could be drinking that as you're boiling some other water and get some preparations that way. So that's a really simple solution. Now, here's some other solutions that I haven't done too much, but they're pretty cool. The first method is called the solar method. It has a lot of different names. I just call it the solar method because that's what I know it as. But what you do here is you just put some water that you collected from a river or stream or whatever, and you put it in a clear plastic bag, like a Ziploc bag, like one of those large 1-gallon bags, or I guess it could be any size you want, but probably a 1-gallon Ziploc bag, and then you just let it sit in the sun for like 6 to 8 hours, and what it does is it uses the UV light from the sun to clean the water. Now, you do need to have sunlight, obviously, for this to work. So if it's overcast and cloudy, I wouldn't suggest doing this. But, if you got a nice sunny day, just put out a bag of water and let the sun hit it for 6 to 8 hours or so. And you have some water that's usable for drinking. I know they use this method a lot in different countries where they have some questionable water and it works out for them, so I don't know why it wouldn't work here. So try this method. I wouldn't rely on it, all the time, but if you're in a pinch or if you just want to practice some skills, try it out and see how it is. Now, I bet the taste isn't going to be neutralized at all, so it might taste kind of weird, but at least you know it's safe. Going on the same lines, they now make UV sticks from different companies, and what you do is you put this little stick, it runs off a battery, and you put it in a water bottle, and then you let it run for 30 seconds to a minute depending on the brand or whatever, and it basically does the same thing the sun does. It uses UV light and it neutralizes the harmful particles in your water, and it's safe to drink. I'm thinking about picking one of these up pretty soon and trying it out because it sounds really cool. I know a lot of hikers use this method and it works pretty good, so that's another option for you. Another thing that I've seen also is kind of the same idea or principle, but it uses a salt crystal, and you put a little bit of the salt crystal solution in your water, and it kind of does the same thing. I'm looking into getting one of those as well, but it's another option for you. And then, of course, you could always just have water collection, and you could do this by using a solar still or just capturing rainwater, using a large contractor grade black trash bag or whatever, and set that up overnight and maybe collect a little bit of dew and rainwater as well. So anyways, those are some of the ways that you can get clean water. Now, besides just water, you should also consider some other options. When you're out there, water kind of gets it's good for you, but it gets kind of boring, so I'll kind of bring stuff with me to kind of spice it up and get a couple different liquids in me. So one of the first things I'd bring are Gatorade or Powerade packets that you can get at the store. What these will do is provide you with much needed electrolytes to your body. The potassium, magnesium, and some other vitamins and minerals that you need. And they're really easy to pack. They don't take up that much space, and they don't cost very much either. So I always pack a couple of different Gatorade and Powerade packs and throw them in there, and either for lunch or dinner I'll drink a couple of these, or in between meals just for a little bit of an energy boost, and it just tastes great. So it's a great alternative to always drinking water all the time. Another thing that I bring a lot of is tea. I love drinking tea, especially here in the fall and winter, which it is right now. A nice hot cup of tea is really great to have in between meals as well as after I'm done eating. So I bring a couple different kinds. I bring cinnamon tea, which I make at home, or I actually put the packets together at home, and I shot a video about this, so if you want to see the video, I'll have it on the website as well. But basically I bring cinnamon tea because it helps with immunity, your immune system. It helps with blood circulation. It's good for your stomach, and a whole host of different bonuses for that. So I bring some cinnamon tea, as well as I bring green tea packets. It's full of antioxidants. It helps with free radicals. There's a lot of different good things to say about green tea. So I always bring some green tea with me. I like to drink that after meals. It tastes pretty great. As well as some chamomile tea. And if you haven't tried these, I suggest you try all of them. They taste great, and it's a good variety. So chamomile tea, though, it helps with relaxation. It kind of calms you down. I drink this, a little bit before bedtime just to get a little bit more tired, and it's great for the end of the day just to relax, and it tastes great. So I bring some chamomile tea with me. And then also one other one that I bring with me is just peppermint tea. And that's really great for stomach problems if you're feeling kind of sick or whatever. Peppermint tea is just really calming, relaxing, and it tastes great. So you could pick up all of these at your local grocery store, and I just suggest you look at your at the grocery store and just look at the different teas they have and try a couple different ones and pick some that you like and throw them in your pouch or whatever, and you have a lot of different options for different liquids to drink. So also besides tea, I bring some Emergency. It's kind of like Gatorade or Powerade packets, but it's basically full of vitamin C. And they taste really good. It comes in orange flavor or grape, or there's a couple different ones, but you can get this at your local grocery store as well. And it's great for an energy boost. It gets you a lot of vitamin C in you, so it's just really great. So I pack some vitamin C, and I'm not a big coffee drinker. I used to be, but if you do decide to bring coffee with you, instant coffee, just make sure you have it in limited amounts. Too much coffee is not good for you unless you are a coffee fiend or whatever. Then you know how much you should drink or how much you need to drink, but it tastes good in the morning, to wake up or whatever. So you could always bring some instant coffee with you. Another alternative is just hot cocoa packets. It tastes great. It adds some needed calories. While bushcrafting, it's not a good time to go on a diet. You need those extra calories for all the different things that you're doing. So hot cocoa brings you some of those needed calories, as well as some vitamins and nutrients and stuff that you need. And it's a great way to end the day. A nice hot cup of cocoa right by the fire when it's cold outside. Man, I love that time of the day. So, just some hot cocoa is another great option. And as well, you can pack some apple cider packets. I love apple cider, and you can get the little packets to bring with you out there, and it tastes great. Another one that's good after a meal, it's almost like dessert. It tastes so good. So some hot apple cider packets will be great. And now, something I also do that not a whole lot of people have done, at least not that I know of, is just pack a couple of lemons or limes in your backpack or whatever. I just throw maybe 2 lemons and a lime, wherever I have room in my backpack, and then whenever I want it to drink water, but I just don't want to just have a nothing taste, what I'm talking about, I'll cut up a couple lemons and put them in my water. It makes it taste great. They serve it at restaurants that way. It tastes great, provides a lot of different vitamins, vitamin C, and it's also energy boost, and it's a really great tasting drink. So throw in a couple lemons or limes next time you go bushcrafting, and let me know what you think. It's really easy. They're not going to spoil on you, and yeah, it's just a really cool idea that I thought of, and hopefully you'll think that it's worth trying. So anyways, I think that wraps up pretty much all the different things I have to say about staying hydrated. If you have any other ideas for hydration, something that I missed, or something that you could add on to, please just send me an email, and you can send me that at idea@betterbushcraft.com, or you could just post a comment at the website under the episode, and I'll be sure to check that out and maybe add a future post about it, and I'd appreciate that. And if you have any other ideas or comments or even questions about the show or about the website, please leave them, and you can send it to the same web address or the same email address, idea@betterbushcraft.com, and I'll be sure to check those out as well. And if you guys could just please leave me a review for the show on iTunes, if you're listening to this through iTunes, and if you've subscribed, or if you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate a subscription. But also just please leave a review if you like the show, if you don't like the show, what I can change, and any other things that you can put on there. It'd be very much appreciated. Let me know that you guys are actually out there listening, and what you want to hear in future shows. So anyways, thank you for listening, and I look forward to building a strong community here at Better Bushcraft. And until next time, guys, be safe, go out and practice your skills and share the knowledge, because really that's what it's all about. So anyways, you guys take care, and I'll see you next time.